Just a quick recap. We've moved our chickens across the garden to where I had my onion patch last year. Well, this year in summer. They were the other side, but now they've got a pen there. Where the Christmas trees are is where the chickens were, but is now storage, which is things from the shed. If you saw the collab in October, the gardening collab, you'd have seen some of it then. Further up, we've got the little shed that was in front of the black shed, is now next to the red shed, between the red shed and the pheasant run. But why? Hello, I'm Maria from the Richlands Homeschool Life, although we may have to tweak that name a little bit if I continue to do separate vlogs on a Friday. As you've just seen, I've been telling you about the changes. If you've seen the October garden collab vlog, you'll have heard me say about the changes then, but I've just gone through them briefly with you. And the reason why I'm changing things around is because we wanted to start a new project, which I'd already said. Now, I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. I'll tell you what the project is going to be. Many years ago, before Sean was born, I ran a little business from home called Hopperties, and it was a boarding, well, a rabbit boarding place where you can come and bring your rabbits when you went on holiday, or if you were going somewhere for a few days, and I'd take in rabbits and board them. So we used to do that. When Sean came along, I think I did it for a little while, but I just didn't have the time then with having a newborn baby to do that and look after Sean as well. So I gave Hopperties up. But now I've decided that we'll perhaps do it again, and along with Hopperties, it's going to be a bigger thing this time, because I want to make our life in-house. I want us to be together as families, spend the time working and living together as a family, and centralise everything. I mean, I'd said before about Dean retiring because he's a window cleaner, it's not good on his knees, he's got arthritis. But I thought it might be nice if we all did something and built like a family business. I was going to say empire, it might be an empire, who knows. But yeah, build a family business back up. So I thought, why I thought of reopening Hopperties, I mean, I enjoyed doing it in the past anyway, but Sean is a massive animal lover. She loves animals. So I was thinking, if this takes off again, and there's going to be another side to it as well, I'll tell you about in a minute. If this takes off again, then Sean can continue to do it if that's what she chooses to do. Because when you're homeschooling, you're not just thinking of lessons you're doing at home. I mean, you might be working towards exams, or you might not want to take exams, which Sean is sort of at the moment. Whether she'll change, I don't know. But you've got to start thinking about the future and what they're going to do. And because you're homeschooled, you sort of know where their interests are more, and you can see what they're more geared up for. So Sean is animal, she's animal mad. So I was thinking, well, if we restarted Hopperties as a boarding for rabbits, a rabbit boarding place, did that again. I'm also thinking about starting Hopperties grooming, so we'll offer the facilities for grooming rabbits as well. So we're thinking along those lines at the moment, which is why we've emptied the shed. See, the area that I'd showed you where we were clearing is going to be for Hopperties. We're going to, well, you'll watch us do it, we'll show you, we're fencing that bit off, that back patio area, and we are going to clear it, put some outdoor hutches back, make it like a courtyard is what I've got in my head at the moment. But the shed is going to be all done out for like a grooming parlour for the bunnies, for the rabbits. So I thought that might be quite nice, and it's a good way of Sean working with animals. So we've been playing with this idea for a while and working out what we can do with it. I've had advice and things. I have gone on courses. I have done some courses. At the moment I have got diploma in animal care and also veterinary care, well, veterinary assistant care. I obtained diplomas in those two, and I'm working on an animal business diploma at the moment. I'm toying with the idea of doing a herbal one as well, because as you know, I want to get into my herbs, but mainly for humans at the moment. Though herbs are good for feeding your animals, but we're not going to concentrate on other animals. We are only going to keep it solely for rabbits. I would say the reasons for that, mainly because we haven't got facilities for dogs, and we've got a dog of our own, so we don't want to do dogs. The same with cats. We've got cats of our own. I mean, we've got rabbits of our own. Obviously, you've seen them, but they're in pens up the garden. They're not going to be near where we're working. So we thought rabbits are the best. And because we've done rabbit boarding before, it's just a case of restarting that again. So this is why we're clearing the space. We're hoping to set up business sometime in the new year, or somewhere between New Year and Easter time. We're hoping to set up business to do hoppities, rabbit grooming and boarding. Now, something else I'd like to do, but it's not going to happen just yet. You've probably heard me mention in the past that I've done markets and sold things. We would like to do gifts and things like that, you know. There could be rabbit themed, there might be anything themed, might be from the garden themed. Also sell surplus vegetables and eggs. So yeah, we got ideas for that in the future. So what we're going to do, because I've been looking into it, I don't need any licenses for the rabbits, but I knew that because I didn't before, but I've had to check again because you know how things change. But no, we still don't need any licenses to run the rabbits. The only concerns that the council would have with it is parking. Well, not so much parking, but you know, lots of people come dropping off rabbits. But we're just going to start and probably looking at doing something, well, for the grooming, maybe 3 a day over 3 days in the week. We've got a big drive and a big front. There's ample parking. We've got parking room for 3. We've only got 1 car and it's not a huge car, so there's still 2 spaces spare, which is fine for if 2 people come while one's dropping and one's picking up, although we'll stagger the times a little bit, but just in case, you know, they cross over, there's not a problem there. So the council are happy with that. They're not worried about any issues there. It's nothing noisy. It's not like a building site going on or anything like that. There's no noise to it or anything like that. So that's all okay. Everything's okay like that. The only thing I've got to see about getting now is the insurance, because we had to have public liability before, so obviously there's that again. But what I am thinking of doing is you get like an insurance, oh, I forgot what it's called now. You know, when you make things, like a maker's insurance, when you're selling things, oh dear, I knew it earlier, I can't remember what the word is now. But there's an insurance if you're selling products, you know, should anything go wrong. Not so much like your veg, but if you're selling gifts and things like that, there is like a product insurance thing that you can get for such a thing. So I thought, because there are a lot of companies that will do your discounts if you get the 2 together, well, I don't really need the product one yet because we haven't got anywhere near that stage yet. We're not at the stage where we're ready to start hoppities, as in the grooming and boarding, just yet. But I thought when the time comes, when I go to get the public liability, then I might look into getting them both at the same time. That way then we can, even if we make a few things, we can go to markets and sell a bit and whatnot like that. I thought that might be good. So that's something yet to be done, but we're not at the stage where we're ready for that bit yet. Probably after Christmas, early after Christmas. So at the moment we're working on the shed, but everything has a downside. Nothing goes to plan. Let me just show you what's gone wrong. Right, I don't know if you can see because I haven't got any electric in here yet, but this is the bottom along the shed. The wood that went along the inner side was all twisted and bowing, so we went to look at it and it was rotten. You see how the wood goes along the bottom? Well, that's fine, but when we got to there it was rotten. And also some of the side of the shed was rotten because there was no guttering on that side. The water has come down and it's rotted it. So we've been to get some more wood to line along the bottom bit. and some tongue and groove for the shed, because that's what this shed's made of, tongue and groove. So yeah, we've got to try and push that bit back in again. We had some flooring on top, some wooden flooring from when we had Hoppities the first time around. We had some indoor pens in here and we put flooring on top, so you see it's all up there. Dean's had to take it off because he's got to get underneath. He wanted to see what state it was all in. Luckily, none of the floorboards have rotted. They're all fine, they're solid. It's just that bit along the side and it's bowed out slightly. So he's got to replace the boarding and push it in a bit. Hopefully he can do that and put the beading edging stuff back on it. And hopefully that will do the trick, because we've got quite a lot of work in here to do. This is where the groom parlour is going to be. That's what I was saying about the two doors. The doors there, that's got to be opened back up. But I also want to keep this one as a door as well. It's all upside down at the moment with a carpet in here and all sorts. But yeah, I think what we're going to do as well is lag in between the walls, as I'm showing you along. So to put lag in, all in there. Maybe put plasterboard then over the top and perhaps plaster it and the roof. Or unless we can find some other lining that's easier and cheaper to do. I don't know. I mean, it's not particularly cold in here, but in winter if it's snowing and that, it could get a bit chilly. Although when you've got a heater, and we have put heaters in there, we've had this shed heated, it is quite snug and it's never been lined before. We've got a window behind there which will let light in. So that's the state of it at the moment. You know, Cassie's everywhere you go. So that side's right, it's just all bits where he's been pulling the wooden stuff up there. The lining we put over the floorboards, that's not damp. We have checked everywhere else and everywhere else is fine. The roof's fine. Got a fridge in there. It's, I think my husband's going to have that in his shed. So that's the state of it at the moment. We've got to get some electric lighting back in. We have got some strip lighting ready because we took all the lighting out when we decided to use it for storage. And we're going to wire more electrics back up. We've got a rough bit in at the minute, but we're going to wire it back up. We've got the box is still there. It's never been disconnected. So it's just a case of getting it all back up and running. I've got one big bunny cage there. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. All that now has got to be sorted. You can see the ground below. So this is the state of play at the moment. We'll just go outside and I'll show you as well, because he was clearing the front, but he's put all crates in front. I'll show you. So this is what the front looks like at the moment, where the door's going to be. We've got all these pallets, crates, pallets, but he's making fencing out of them. If I can swing around, you can see the top of the garden up there, look. See that? That's one of the fence panels he's made that's on its side. He's got 6 of them made so far. So we want to do down the front and also see the edge of the fence there. We want to bring it all the way across to go up there. So this area is all fenced off and just have a little gate in the middle then. And this is where the hutches will go for the boarding bit. This will all be cleaned off. And I think I'm going to get, like I've got big pots down there. I'm going to put some lavender in them by each pen, because it's good for keeping flies away in summer. That's something you've got to be careful of with rabbits, is fly strike. So yeah, that is what it looks like at the moment. So as you can see, we've got quite a big job on our hands there. I mean, especially with the shed. I thought at first, oh no, I'm going to have to knock it all down and get a new one. Dean thinks he can repair that, because it's just that bit that's gone. The rest is solid and fine. So hopefully we'll sort that out. It looks a mess at the moment, but over the coming months we'll show you how it's going, and hopefully it'll look better and better, and in the end will look like a lovely little grooming parlour for the bunnies. So yeah, that's what we're hoping to do. As time goes along, obviously I'm going to show you what we're doing and tell you all about what we're doing. It's not just going to be like the Fridays isn't just going to be about building what we're building out there, but it'll cover all aspects of what we're doing, how things are working out, and also like finances, whether it becomes financial or not, you know, whether it's viable, all kinds of things, where we can save money. It'll include the garden, what we grow in the garden, how that's saving money, what we're doing with produce, what we're doing with animals. We want to make this a viable thing for the family, sort of all in-house, a family thing, and want it to be viable, because the state everything's in at the moment, things are going up, and you know, you've got to find ways of saving money, and there has to be ways of cutting back and doing things, even if I have to cut everything off and go off grid. But yeah, I'm not even afraid of that. But yes, I want to do things that will benefit us as a family, and you know, at the end of it all, be together, all of us be together, because life is short, isn't it? Everything's short. You don't know what's round the corner. I don't want to sound pessimistic, but you don't, do you? You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. And I think if you can make the best of today, which will make a future for everybody, that's good. That's good. So, because like I say, with Sian, I mean, she might not want to work in Hopperton. She might not want to do it. It'll take off maybe if we're lucky, and oh, Cassie, and she might not want to do it. She might go off and do something else, which is fine. You know, that's great. But it'd be nice to know that if she does want to do it, it's there. There is something there for her, and so that's what we're aiming for, and that's what we've been talking about for a while, restarting Hopperton. And then I was saying, well, you know, well, what got me thinking about grooming was we've got one of our rabbits, Peanut. She's really long haired, and you've got to constantly groom her and brush her and everything. And rabbits should be groomed, you know, about 4 times a year, at least 4 times a year, for the different seasons and different coats that they get in these seasons. And it's good that they get groomed. I mean, we don't cut rabbit hair unless you've got a great big knot that's, you know, a hazard. You just cut a knot out. But other than that, it's not like dog grooming. You don't shave or anything like that. It's a different process altogether, and it's a good process for them. But if and when we get to that stage, when or if, maybe I should say it that way around, I'll show you. I'll just show you all about it and what we're doing and how it works. I'll show you everything, what we're doing and everything. So yeah, Fridays, I keep wanting to say Thursdays. I might have said Thursdays. If I have, forgive me, it should say Friday. I mean Friday. But yeah, Fridays is just, it's not going to be at home about homeschooling unless it's something that is actually connected with what we're doing. But no, we won't be homeschooling. I can hear the dog into something. But yeah, I just want to show you life, really, what we're doing, what we're planning, how it's going. I want to show you the downsides of it and the upsides of it, because you know, you have to take the good with the bad with everything, don't you? So I just want you to see how it works. Who knows, it might work for you, because this is a passive income from home, and that is quite popular at the moment. I mean, since all the lockdowns a few years ago, a lot of people have wanted to be home more. A lot of people have retired early. A lot of people just want to work from home. A lot of people are looking for a different way of doing things. And we are one of those families that were also doing the same. I mean, long ago we'd spoken about, you know, like Dean retiring because with medical grounds with his knees and everything, and he's not getting any younger. Don't tell him I said that. But yeah, you know, a lot of people talking about it, and I think it's nice to see people doing it, see what their ideas are, and you know, see how it's working for them. So I thought I would just include this on a Friday, so it's something separate from the homeschooling, and we'll see how it goes, and you see highs and lows of everything then. So basically that's what it is. That's what my project was. It's going to be hopperties, grooming and boarding. So yeah, hopefully it will all work out. So next Friday I'll come back and I'll tell you a little bit more what's happening, or we might have a discussion about something else that's going on that's, you know, topical and will relate to what we're doing. We'll see what happens next week. But Tuesday I'll be back again. So if you follow me for homeschooling, I mean, some of you might just drop down because you've seen the title and want to see what I'm talking about. But if you follow me for homeschooling, I'll see you on Tuesday. And if not, and you're interested just what I've got to talk about, what our life is about, then perhaps I'll see you again next Friday. But whichever, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you at one point next week. So take care and bye for now.